What is going on, guys? It is Ty the Jeep Guy, and in this video we're getting out there to do our part. Got ourselves a mannequin, some traffic cone stuff. You guys already know what I'm gonna talk about, and that's my little handy-dandy tape measure. Well, it has been a crazy weekend, and it is just now Sunday morning, and we are here at the first public Judith the Jeep cleanup. Normally, we've always done this stuff through the club. I'm a part of Black Hills Jeeps, but I kind of figured I want to get out and host one under the YouTube channel. So we're here, but that is not the only thing we've done this weekend. Now on Saturday, not only did I go to work, but the Rushmore Rock Crawlers hosted their first Crawlers and Coffee, and I was allowed to set up a little Tread Lightly booth and hang out. I had an absolute blast, and I took a couple shots for you guys to see what all rigs were there. There were some really cool ones, so I'll let you check that out right now. Now after Crawlers and Coffee, we ended up grabbing the pup and shooting out over to old Steve Berg's place and started building our A-frames for our buck and rail that we're gonna put out at Fruity Pebbles. We had groups from all of the clubs in the coalition represented there, Black Hills Jeeps, Black Hills Four-Wheelers, Dakota Territory Cruisers, and the Rushmore Rock Crawlers, all lending a hand and contributing to get these knocked out. So you might be asking yourself, if you're local to the area, why are we doing a cleanup on Victoria Lake Road? That area is a lost cause, just like Beretta Road. Well, just like many people in the hills, there's spots all over the place that I absolutely love, and Victoria Lake Road is one of them. Not only is it right outside of town, but it actually has a lot of history hiding out there if you go looking for it. So way back in the day when Rapid City was still getting built, there was a rail line called the Warren Lamb. The Warren Lamb brought timber from all of the lumber mills out in the hills into Rapid City so that they could build the town. Now, there is sidings, train track beds, and all sorts of stuff all over the area that you can go out and see. But not only that, there also used to be a dam that was used as a recreation area way back in the day. And if you know me, you know I'm also into the little tiny 1/10 scale rock crawlers, and the remnants of that dam is so much fun to take my crawler out on. Now, I like getting out there and hanging out, but man, this area is getting trashed just like Beretta Road. And there's something that I've learned about the public land shooters here in the state of South Dakota that really kind of breaks my heart. I really think a lot of them didn't grow up with parents or like moms specifically, because man, they just seem to not be able to pick up after themselves. So we went ahead and are hosting our public cleanup here to try and do that. You guys already know I always carry spill kits with me, and I like to hide them throughout the hills, but this one is gonna go to the first person that pulls up for this trail cleanup here. And like I said, I kind of decked it out. Onyx Off-Road has been helping me out when it comes to not only just fixing some of the errors that are on their map system for our area, but also with supporting my Tread Lightly and mapping classes that I host here in the hills. So I got some Onyx Off-Road swag, like a hat. We've got a air freshener, some stickers. We've got some Iron Rock Off-Road lightning fast tire deflators from Jeep Camp one year. We've got some information on Tread Lightly, but we also have an elite membership for 1 year to Onyx Off-Road. So a big thank you to Tread Lightly, Onyx Off-Road for all the cool stuff that I get to give away today, and as well as Iron Rock Off-Road. They've been a huge supporter of not just myself, but our four-wheel drive club. They always come out here for Jeep Camp, and they always bring some goodies, and they're always trying to support our area. So I want to give a huge thanks to those guys for everything they do for us here in the Black Hills. Now with that out of the way, I already see some trash. Let's go ahead and get the trailer ready. By the way, got a trailer. Shout out Allie, thanks for the trailer. Gonna be using this thing for all sorts of stuff, like today. But we're gonna put some trash bags inside of my little trasharoos and just get ready for people to show up. So let's do that. Let's do it. So as I was saying, talking to everybody, I said it takes an army, and well, an army definitely showed up. So we're pretty much just gonna get on out. We're gonna go to all the cool spots to stop and pack stuff out and meet back here at 11:30 and get a count on how much stuff we got out. So let's hit it. All right, hopefully you can hear me over the YJ and Shania Twain. We're gonna turn her down so I don't get demonetized, but I was expecting like 15 people max. We gotta have like 40. What'd you find there?
About 10 pounds of shotgun shells in the first stop.
Holy cow. Nice job, man. And I want to get we got a couch. Look at that. Oh yeah, there's like all sorts of it. Yeah. Look at that. Well, nice find, Tammy. Holy cow. Yeah, it's all the way down there. There we go. Dang. Right off the bat, dude. First stop. There we go. I mean, we already got ourselves a couch. I think the one I've got at home is still pretty nice, so we'll just make sure that one gets to the dump. Its rightful place at the dump and not in our woods, our forests. Also, P.S. Noah found this Mountain Dew can. It's still sealed from 2023. It's got some deer fur in it. He said if we pack out over 1,200 pounds of garbage, which would beat the record from last year, I'll take a pretty big swig. So part of me really wants to beat that 1,200 pounds, but the other part does not. All right, guys, we are on our way back to the meetup spot just to see how much we've packed out, and I'm kind of excited. But I also want to have a quick conversation with anyone who is watching this, and this is for any of you, no matter where you live. One thing that I've been thinking about heavily is that I'm from somewhere where we don't have public lands like this, and I have found that I love to go hiking, I love to go shooting, I love to go four-wheeling and camping and fishing. I love these things. And there's so much public access to go do that. But I've quickly learned, and I understand, that public access, unfortunately, it's not a right. It's not just given. It's something that we have to respect so that we can keep it. I've also been thinking about like all the companies and social media influencers. They use their platforms to advertise products, to try and sell you something. And trust me, when I tell you they're trying to sell you something, that's coming from a guy that sells Jeeps for a living. And they're all doing it on public lands. You know, all the guys in our off-road world that are out there advertising things that you should buy for your next adventure are using our public lands to do that. And instead of trying to sell you something, we should be trying to inspire everybody to take care and protect their areas that they have their adventures in. Because politics aside, for years now, our public lands have needed our help. And it only happens when people like us and our four-wheel drive community here get involved. So I guess the whole message of this video and everything I have been gearing the last 5 years of my life towards is to get out there and protect the adventure. Because it's not granted. And it's something we can lose very easily. And it is not easy to get back. Trust me, it's something I've been trying to do in our area for 5 years. So guys, get on out there and do your part. I'll catch you at the trailhead. All right, I think Allie won the weirdest thing. Got ourselves a mannequin, some traffic cone stuff, tons of other stuff. I got the couch and the microwave, and then I don't even know what else we got, but I know there's a lot. So I think Cody with the Mount Rushmore rock crawlers, he's gonna make a dump run. Oh, look at that, they got a bed frame. But I'll swap the couch over and call it a day. Hey, we're gonna do that right there. All right, I don't think we hit the 1200, but
I think we came close.
you guys like all came out here to help, and this is the first one. It was a huge turnout. So. Yeah, it was dated November 22nd, 2023.
Oh, still good.
It's still good. It tastes fine. You guys want to try it? There you go. Yeah, there we go. Well, I haven't left yet. We are out here in the hills on a beautiful spring day. We've got Eddie. I have a feeling you guys are going to be seeing a lot more of him over this summer. But it has been a very busy and productive week. So Saturday, we had the Rushmore Rock Crawlers and Coffee. We had a little Tread Lightly booth. And Sunday, we hosted our first Judith the Jeep trail cleanup. And let me tell you how that went. Now, the trail cleanup, overall, we had 42 of you guys that came out and helped, all from the motorized community, the target shooting community. I can't thank you guys enough. That made me feel awesome, the fact that you guys were willing to come out and spend your Sunday morning picking up trash. So that was really cool. So 42 of you, and in total, one trailer just went and got weighed recently, and they got 660 pounds of garbage. I myself, all the trash bags that we were able to get out that I collected had about 170 pounds. And then there was one other trailer that we're estimating had about 400. So we're coming in right around 1,230 pounds packed out of Victoria Lake Road. That's the second year in a row we've gotten 1,200 pounds out of there. So what are we doing in the hills right now? Well, I am currently working with the Black Hills 4x4 Coalition on a proposal to close some user-created bypasses around one of our most popular year-round rock crawling routes. Now, like everywhere in the United States, all trails are very important, but this one in particular is in an area where all of our year-round rock crawling routes are. And the last thing I want to see is one of them get shut down because people don't want to go play in the rocks. You know, it just doesn't make sense. Like, you go to a rock crawling area or a rock crawling trail that's labeled as a rock crawling trail, which I'll show you, and then you bypass all the rocks. I don't get that, but we're here to map the routes we need to close, get a count on how much buck and rail we're gonna need and the footage, and then we'll make a proposal, send that over to the Forest Service, and hopefully they will take it so we can work together and get it all closed up. Now, I'm not gonna drag you guys with me when we go and hike all this, because it's gonna take time. There's 3 other actual user created routes in the area that are bypassing all this stuff, not just this one here. So I have to go hike all of those, and that's no fun. But afterwards, we are gonna go run the trail as well as another rock crawling route, just for fun, because we got Eddie. We might as well enjoy the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and get pulled off the side and start hiking. I'll catch you guys whenever I'm done. Oh, it's hot today. Well, it is like 90 degrees today. It's beautiful. We have already mapped the first section. I've got the 2 sections of buck and rail that we'll need to put up measured for the distance. I think in total it'll be about 60 feet, as long as people don't go around the buck and rail. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump in the Jeep, run the first creek bed, get up to the second section where there's a ton of bailouts and one bypass that just doesn't even make sense. We'll measure that, and then I think we'll be good to run the Fruity Pebbles lower rock garden to the big guys and the big rigs. It's known as the Fruity Pebbles bypass, the legal one, but I'll show you guys all that. All right, so right down the middle is the trail, and it veers off to the left, and there's the rest of the rock crawling route, right? Off to the right is a new bypass that's been created, and down the middle is a bypass that the Black Hills four-wheelers have already shut down. Now, back in the day, they got approval to use their own signs, not a route. It's got their logo and all this stuff on it. However, the new land managers want to make it consistent across the whole forest, so we will most likely have to get rid of it. Even though I really like it because it shows that a local club did it and not just Big Brother, the government. So right now I'm kind of like inventorying bypass number 2, and it goes this way, right, through the trees and stuff, which, I mean, look how narrow these tracks are. I mean, if it quacks like a duck, the feathers look like a duck, it, you know, flies like a duck, it's probably a duck. Anyway, there's also this, which the buck and rail is down here. So this is all bypass too, which we've already technically closed down. So my hope and theory, the reason I'm not putting buck and rail here or thinking about putting buck and rail here is if we close it down there, we close it up here, people won't be using this section because all of this is technically closed anyway. So here's the rock crawling route, right through here. This is what I was talking about earlier. What is this? What is this? Yeah, you can see where you're supposed to go, right? Follow that line. But people, here, you guys want to hear my duck impression? Wah! I'm not going to keep doing that. Yeah, you come up here, rock crawling section's right here. You keep on coming, and then boom, right through this bailout. I mean, you're right back onto the rock crawling route, right onto the bypass. It makes no sense, guys. If you're gonna come out here and run this stuff, this bypass ends at the same exact spot this ends at. And if this is too hard, the next spot is even harder. You shouldn't be doing this. Oof, God, I didn't wear my hiking boots today. I wore my trail runners, and I can't stand out here. So we had to stop again because there's 2 more bailouts. There's one right here and one right up over there. So I'm gonna get these 2 marked and we'll keep rolling. So when I first started wheeling, I used to be so intimidated by this obstacle in the Cherokee. But I was on, at the time, when I first ran this, I was on 32s, and then I got 33s, but that really didn't make that big of a difference. And I'm just going to be honest, it's a hard trail on 33s, for me anyway. And I was a beginner, in my defense, but I'm still a beginner with this thing. Now, and that's kind of like my point, is if your rig's not capable enough, and you're not capable enough, like the whole reason I built the YJ, that is because I felt the rig on 33s wasn't exactly what I wanted. I wanted to be able to come out here and do this kind of stuff and not have to worry, whereas in my Cherokee, it's a close call each time, and usually it takes me forever. But we're gonna go ahead, get the YJ up this, and we're gonna keep on trucking towards Lower Rock Garden. GoPro will never do justice how intimidating that obstacle looks. But here's the thing. On 37s, it did not look nor feel intimidating at all. 33s, I was like, dear Lord, what am I doing? I smashed up my rock sliders, my transfer case skid plate, I fell off that rock, got my diff hung up on that rock. I guess you just need bigger tires and more seat time. Well, this is where I'm gonna stop and have lunch. This is the entrance to Upper Rock Garden, and if you stay to the right, that is Lower Rock Garden. We're not doing Upper Rock Garden. At least not today. That is on my bucket list for this summer. I've hiked it. It's big rocks. Look at that. Look up there. The rocks are huge. They're tire shredders, and they're huge. And I'd like to try it. We'll see if I can get my buddy Austin, the guy that does King Hammers. I trust him in Denver. I trust them a lot. Brandon, Steve Burt. Listen, there's a lot of guys I trust, but I wouldn't mind getting a couple of them together. Maybe slow them down one of these afternoons. They fly through this kind of stuff, but maybe I'll have them slow down a little bit with me and smell the roses. So yeah, I'm gonna have my lunch, and then we'll keep going. Done with lunch. Played with my little 110 scale rock crawler a little bit. Listen, you already know that's what got me into this full-size Jeep stuff years ago. So yeah, I'm still into it. Still like building them. But we're gonna go ahead and head up towards the Lower Rock Garden. And as long as my camera still got battery by the time we're done with that, we'll hit up Got Milk. So let's head over there. All right guys, I have 10% left. That means I've got to end the video. We're like 3/4, halfway through Fruity Pebbles. We're almost done. You're not missing much, trust me. Now, before I end the video, once again, I want to give a huge thanks to everybody that came to the clean out. I couldn't have done it without you guys. I really appreciate you taking your time on a Sunday to help pick up trash in an area that I personally love. I want to thank everybody who supported me and the channel over these years. This is something I do for fun. I like it. It's fun. It's creative. You get to see a little bit into my personal life, like bringing out the RC car and the big Jeep and all the things I like to do. So that's that, guys. You already know the drill. Get on out there and keep on Jeeping on. Oh, I hope I just got that on camera. What? How's my ear look? I just smashed it into that tree.